year as both the birthday and date of death of William Shakespeare. The day is the result of a 2010 initiative by the Department of Global Communications establishing language days for each of the organization's 6 official languages. English Language Day aims to entertain as well as make us familiar with the history, culture and achievements of the language among the UN community.
We, the students of grade 1 to 5 of St. Michael's School, Alwal branch, would like to choose poetry as an art form to celebrate this day. English literature has seen many great poets who still continue to inspire us, give words to our emotions, and transport us to the beautiful world of poetry. So just sit back and take a flight into the world of poetry as our students recite a few timeless compositions.
Robert Louis Stevenson, who lived from 13th November 1815 to 3rd December 1894, was a renowned essayist, poet, and an author of fiction and travel books. He is best known for his adventure novels. His poems are all connected to his own experiences. My friend Akshay Shenmukh will recite one of the poem, The Moon.
The moon has a face like the clock in the hall. She shines on thieves on the garden wall, on streets and fields and harbor quays, and birds asleep in the forks of the trees. The squalling cat and the squeaking mouse, the howling dog by a door of the house, the bat that lies at bed at noon, all love to be out by the light of the moon. But all things that belong today, cuddle to sleep to be out of her way, and flowers and children close their eyes, till up in the morning the sun shall rise.
Barbara Vance is an author, an illustrator and an educator. She writes about children's poetry and talks about narrative and storytelling strategies. Why Me is a short motivational children's poem about feeling sorry for yourself. It is from the children's poetry book. Susie Bittner Was Afraid of the Train by Barbara Vance. Why me? If you have to ask why me, when you're feeling really blue, when the world has turned against you and you don't know what to do, when it pours colossal raindrops and the road's a winding mess, and you feel more confused than you ever could express. When sun won't shine, when stars will not align, when you'd rather be inside your bed, the covers pulled above your head. When life is something that you dread, and you have to ask, why me? Then, when the world seems right and true, when rain has left a gentle dew, when you feel happy being you, please ask yourself, why me? Then too. What would children's literature be without the singular voice of Roald Dahl? Over the course of his long career, the British novelist wrote more than 30 works populated with clever children, frequently monstrous adults, sprinkled with made-up words and shot through with sly, surprisingly dark humor. His stories were set in richly imagined worlds, taking place everywhere from the mysterious chocolate factory to the heart of an impossibly huge speech, even outer space. The poem Television is written by Roald Dahl that inspires to read books instead of watching the television. It warns us about dangers of watching television excessively.
The Television by Roald Dahl. The most important thing we've learned so far as children are concerned is never let them near your television set, or better still, just don't install that useless thing at all. In almost every house we've been, we've watched them gaping at the screen. They loll and slop and lunge about and
or kick or punch, they leave you free to cook the lunch and wash the dishes in the sink. But did you ever stop to think to wonder just exactly what this does to your beloved dot? It rots the sense in the head. It kills imagination dead. It clogs and clutters up the mind. It makes a child so dull and blind. He can no longer understand a fantasy, a fairyland. His brain becomes as soft as cheese. His powers of thinking rust and freeze. He cannot think, he only sees.
All right, you will cry. All right, you will say. But if we take the set away, what shall we do to entertain our darling children? Please explain. We'll answer this by asking you. What would the darling ones do? How would they keep themselves contented before this monster was invented? Have you forgotten? Don't you know? Well, say it very loud and slow. They used to read. They had read and read and read and read and then proceed to read some more. The nursery shelves held books galore. Books cluttered up the nursery floor. And in the bedroom by the bed, more books were waiting to be read. So please, oh please, we beg, we pray, go throw your TV set away. In its place you can install a lovely bookshelf on the wall. Then fill the shelf with lots of books, ignoring all the dirty looks, the screams and yells, the bites and kicks, children hitting you with sticks. Fear not, we promise you that in about a week or two of having nothing else to do, once they start, oh boy, you watch the slowly growing joy that fills their heart and they grow so keen. They all wonder what they ever seen in that reticulum machine and repulsive television screen. And later each and every kid will like you for what you did.
Rabindranath Tagore was born on May 7, 1861 in Kolkata, India and died on August 7, 1941. He was a very well-known Bengali poet, short story writer, song composer, playwright and essayist and painter who introduced new prose and verse forms and the use of the colloquial language into Bengali literature. Tagore was also part of the Indian freedom struggle. He wrote the national anthem of our country, India. In 1901, he was the first non-European to receive an award, that is, the Nobel Prize for Literature.
Hide and Seek, written by Rabindranath Tagore. If I play a mischievous trick and blossom as a flower in the champa tree, and early in the morning roll over the tender leaves of the branch, you would then, oh mother, lose out to me, as it is doubtful that you would be able to recognize me. You will be shouting, Koka, where are you? I will just keep quiet and smile. When you will be busy doing your chores, I will keep a watch over it all with my eyes open. After taking bath with your hair unkempt, you will pass the champa tree as you go to the puja room, from where you will be getting smell of the flowers coming from a distance. At the time, you will not know that the smell that was coming was from your Koka's body. In the afternoon, after others have finished their meal, you will sit down with the Mahabharat in your hand, and the shadow of the tree coming through the window will fall on your back and on your lap. On my part, I will be swinging my tiny shadow over the pages of your book. Even then, you won't have any idea that it is the shadow of your Koka that is floating across your eyes. In the evening, after lighting the lamp, you will proceed to the cowshed. And at that time, Mother, acting like a flower, I will shed myself and drop to the ground. Again, I will become your coca and will come to you and demand, please tell me a story. You will ask, you naughty boy, where have you been? I will simply say that I won't tell you.
Since English language is synonymous with William Shakespeare, the most famous playwright of all times, we the students of grade 5 would like to dedicate this day to Shakespeare by reciting one of his most famous compositions.
All the world's a stage is the phrase that begins a monologue from William Shakespeare's As You Like It, spoken by the melancholy Jack in Act 2, Scene 7. The speech compares the world to a stage and life to a play and catalogues the 7 stages of a man's life, sometimes referred to as the 7 ages of man. Infant, schoolboy, lover, soldier, justice, pantaloon, and old age facing imminent death. It is one of Shakespeare's most frequently quoted passages.
All the World the Stage by William Shakespeare. All the world the stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then, the whining schoolboy with his sachet and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. Then a lover sighing like a furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking for bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice in a fair round belly, with a good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws in modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts to lean slippered pantaloons, with spectacles on his nose and a pouch on his side. His youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice toning again towards a childish treble, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, that ends the strange eventful history, is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. With this, we come to the end of a program dedicated to poetry on the occasion of World English Language Day. Hope you have enjoyed the poems recited by our friends from St. Michael's, Alwal. Keep reading, writing, and sharing the wonderful works of English literature as it is